Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Ghost Rider. Hope your day is going well. In today's strike video, we'll be going over air combat terminology. It's going to be a pretty quick video. Go ahead and sit back, get locked in, and let's get this shit rolling. Alright, starting with the basics. FOX code meanings. FOX1, FOX2, FOX3. You may have heard these terms before used by pilots. You might think it's for shooting down a target or how many missiles they fired, but it's actually to tell you what missile they fired and what class of missile it is. So FOX1 is semi-active radar guided missiles. These require that the aircraft keep a lock with the enemy aircraft at the whole time that it's in flight. If the information is, or the radar lock, not the information, is broken, it'll lose out here and have no connection, won't know where the enemy's at, and the missile might just sputter out. Some of them have some inertial guidance, so it will, if the target's flying straight, it still might hit them, but in most cases the missile just kind of spirals out. Now the AIM-7P has data link, so you can break the connection and reconnect to it, but I was just using this M as an example. Now for FOX2s, they're infrared guided missiles. These are heat-seeking missiles. They're going for the afterburner right here. You can cut it and pop a few flares, and you might get rid of one. Some of them are really good. Example like this AIM-9M, it might just ignore your flares. The R-73 might ignore your flares, stuff like that. But it's going for those afterburners. FOX3 here. Active radar guided missile. These are your FOX3s that you're so scared of, the AIM-120s, the Phoenix, the R-77s, stuff like that. That is what this is. So when you fire this from further direct, like far range, it's going to require that you have a data link to provide information to the missile to know where the target's at. But once it gets close enough, within about like I think 10 miles, 9 miles for the AIM-120s, it'll take over with its seeker here and then lock in on its own. And that time you could break away and the missile does not need guidance. You can update it more, hard locks and stuff to give it better information, but you can break away and let it use its seeker. That is the FOX code meanings, guys. Hope that helped. We're going to jump to the next one, though. BVR and WVR, what do they mean? BVR means the enemy aircraft or target is beyond visual range. WVR means the enemy aircraft or target is within visual range. What is Pitbull? Pitbull is the range at which an active radar missile, a FOX3, goes active using its own radar to guide itself to the target. At this point, it no longer needs data link guidance from the launching aircraft, allowing the pilot to break away or defend if necessary. Hostile/Bandit is hot. This is a pretty simple one. Bandit is hot when facing you head on. So Bandit is flying towards you, is facing your direction. That is hot. Bandit is hot. Now, hostile/Bandit is cold. This means Bandit is cold when facing away from you. Just like the example shows here, when the aircraft is flying away from you and you're getting afterburners, or your HUD is telling you he's traveling away, that means he is cold. Now, both these terms, hot and cold, can mean just the same as for you. So, like, I'm going to turn away cold to the enemy, and now I'm turning back hot towards the enemy. So, there you go. That's hot and cold. Let's jump to the next one. Hostile Bandit is flanking. Basically, flanking just means the enemy or contact is flying perpendicular to your aircraft, your current heading. He could be flying north or south of you, left or right from your point of view, but that would be considered a flanking enemy right there, flying perpendicular. Alright, jump to the next one. What is cranking? Cranking is a defensive offensive maneuver used in beyond visual range combat. The aircraft turns to one side, placing the target near the radar's gimbal limit, while maintaining radar lock to support the missile and reduce the threat posed by incoming weapons. Alright, so I got a little example out here. So let's just say this F-15 was flying over here. He's already shot his missile from like over here. So he's been sending a data link information or a hard lock, depending on the missile, keeping it updated while this aircraft was flying straight and had already fired his missile and is predicting this aircraft's course. And when you do that and you turn and you start cranking and you max out your gimbal limit while giving information to this, it makes the opposing, the bandit's missile that he fired, turn out in front of your aircraft more to try to predict where you're going, using more of its fuel and energy. And if you cranked at the right possible time, you will defeat their missile with a little chaff, little pop of chaff here and there. It'll defeat the missile. But if you do break your gimbal limit here, you'll lose lock on your missile, and it could just spiral out and not get to the target. But that is cranking. Hopefully this helped you. Let's move on to the next one. What is notching? Notching is a defensive maneuver where you turn 90 degrees to the incoming radar-guided missile. This can make it harder for the missile to track you, especially when you combine chaff, potentially causing it to lose lock or run out of energy before impact. So in our example here, we're going to assume this guy caught this guy, locking him up, and he went ahead and turned into the notch directly 90 degrees to his so it wouldn't be this missile is predicting, and it's predicting in front of him, so you have to adjust on your RWR. You'll see the little missile pop up on there, the warning maybe, depends on how new your RWR is, but it'll warn you, and you want to put that on the right or left side of your RWR, so you're 90 degrees, giving you the best chance to chaff and run this missile out of juice. Alright, let's move on to the next one though. The one circle fight. The one circle is a nose-to-nose engagement focused on turn radius to each of the bandits' control zones first. So we have a little example over here. We talked about control zone and turn radius up here, but I'm going to go over the little example. So in our 1-to-1, they both pass by each other here going opposite directions. And for the one circle, they both turn the same direction, meeting nose to nose basically. Now let's talk about the control zone. This is the area behind the bandit that gives enough room for you to follow their maneuvers without overshooting. Now in the one circle, it's less about getting right behind him. It's more about getting your nose on before they have their nose on you. So your turn radius, a smaller turn radius is key advantage in a one circle fight. It lets you turn inside the defender offensively and makes it harder for the attacker to get weapons solution defensively. So basically, let's just say this aircraft can turn a lot sharper than this aircraft. You're going to want to like turn in and like, let's just say you shot them back here and turned in. That's where you'd beat them on nose authority basically in the one circle. The two circle fight. A two circle fight is a nose to tail rate fight where both aircraft turn away from each other after the merge. Got a little example of that right here for you. This is on the 2D plane, but it'll help you anyways. So right here we got two aircraft about to come into the merge. Once they go into the merge, they're both going to go left and turn this into a rate fight chasing each other's tail. Now the pilot with the better sustained turn rate gains angles faster and reaches the bandit's control zone first, creating a firing opportunity. Your control zone is the area behind the bandit that gives you enough room to follow their maneuvers without overshooting. And it's up to you to be able to stay in that control zone and up to their defensive flying to get you out of that control zone. Now your turn rate's really what's going to win here. Higher turn rate means covering more of the circle in less time, giving you advantage and getting a weapons on target. Now, there's just some aircraft that you'll come across that it's just hard to get a rate on them. That's because they rate better than you. So you got to choose wisely on how you jump in one circle, two circle, on just depending on the aircraft you come across. Hope that one helps you. Let's jump to the next one. Alright, here's a quick list of other terms I thought were useful, starting with bandit. A confirmed hostile aircraft, you know it's an enemy and are cleared to engage. Bogey, an unidentified aircraft, is detected, but you don't know if it's friendly, neutral, or hostile. Tally, I have a visual. Used when you have spotted an enemy with your own eyes. No joy. I don't have a visual contact. Used when you're unable to see the aircraft you're searching for, even if you know its general location. Alright guys, that was the air combat terminology. I put some extra in on the video and gave some more tips on top of just telling you what the term was, but I wanted to expand a little bit so I could help y'all out. If this did help y'all out in any way, hit that like button down below. Hit that subscribe button as well to keep up with my future content. It really helps me out, pushes my content out there. But I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.